Alright, I'm doing a test one right now. Test video. Because I don't really know how to talk to myself. I can talk to myself in my own head, and I can talk just fine when I'm talking to someone else, but it's probably going to take some practice to talk just in general like this. And we'll see, I might do it around this time when I'm driving, but just went to the psychiatrist today. Been seeing the doctors since the beginning of the year. I went to the doctor like pretty much once a week since January of this year up until around August, and then it tapered off. I'm trying to figure out energy deficiency and focus issues and stomach problems, muscle loss as well, a decent amount of things. Psychiatrist is for the major depressive disorder that I've had for since I can remember, like being a little kid. But I don't know why I'm talking as though I'm like catching someone up. I don't really know how I want to talk yet. I think I just want to talk as though I'm talking to someone else. But yeah, so I went there this morning. It went well. I'm gonna be doubling something that I started. It seems to be doing okay. At least no adverse side effects right now. So I'm gonna do an increase, see if that works. If not, then I'll just go back down to the original amount and figure something else out from there. Still needing to work on my list. I had a list of like 70 or 40 something different lists. I can't remember. I think it was like 47 lists. Brought them all the way down over the course of this year down to about 20. I think it was in the 70s. I can't remember. But lists of different lists. I've been working on my main list with just like things that I need to, or that I feel like I need to get done. So things like that could be anything. It could be just making sure that I eat the right way. It could be a doctor's appointment. It could be really anything that I feel like at the time is important, and I'll just put it on my list, which is essentially just a calendar. But I've been getting one thing done each day since the beginning since October 2022, I think it was. So one thing each day, just because I've been adding things to the lists, all the different lists that I've been talking about for years, like 10 plus years. It could be like anything from lists of phone numbers to tattoos that I want to get, to ideas for things. Could be remembering to like how I shave, or things like how I'd want to feed the cats. I don't really know why I would write down so many things like that, but most of it's gone now because I've made it into a habit or just like a daily routine. And I'll just put, like, I have another list that's like a daily list where it goes over the things that I want to do each day. So there's like smaller things each day, and then there's a main list of like a main thing that I want to do each day. Like something that could take a while because of my energy deficiency is like yard work, for example. And if that takes a long time, then I really just have just that to do on a given day, which would typically be like a weekend or something, because it's difficult to start it when you have extreme depression. It can be like extremely difficult to do anything. And when I have this energy problem, which is probably derived from the depression, but I haven't figured that out completely yet with the doctor, even though it's been almost an entire year. The energy deficiency, it's like I want to do things, but I can't get myself to do it. I know saying like can't, it doesn't really work to work myself up. Nothing really works. I just have to force myself at a certain point. And I'm really just going all over the place. It's kind of how I talk in a lot of different tangents. I usually come back around to whatever my main point was. The main point today is just that this is the first test to like video thing, because I said that I would start just talking. That's what I need to do. I need to start doing that. And of course there's a ton of traffic, so I'm probably going to be late. But yeah, let's see. I feel like I need to pull up the GPS. Oh, there's an accident right there. That's why everybody's going so slow, even though they don't need to, because everybody's just looking. Goodness gracious. There's like people on the ground and cleaning up possibly blood or oil or something from the vehicle. But they have it taken care of over there. But anyway, starting my bulking today for November. I might just do it all the way until 2026. Just see what I can do, like a lean bulk, since I need to get back into exercise. I was super into that forever, and just the energy made it like extremely difficult to be able to even finish a session. So I'd be like really pushing myself and doing super well for such a long time, and then it just kept slowly getting worse and worse to where I just couldn't do this part of it, then I couldn't do that part. And even when I would bring down the weight, or I bring down the duration, or like the duration of that day, or the frequency that I was going throughout the week, it just didn't work. So I'm going to slowly build myself up. I think what I'm going to do, and I keep saying what I'm going to do because I have so many lists of things that I'm going to do when I should just be doing things. What I'm going to do is do like cardio stuff in the morning. I hate running, but it might be good to try to do that. But for now, I'm going to do like carrying back and forth like a bag that I can make heavier and heavier. Probably like a ton of jumping jacks until like I can't move anymore. And I have a punching bag, but I have to set up this rack thing to be able to do that. And it's like a small one, just for moving your feet a lot and getting your heart rate up. It's not like a super heavy bag. What what is going on with this traffic? It's just in the middle of the road. There's people. I can't even get onto the expressway. These people are actually in the middle of the road because of that accident up ahead. That is ridiculous. Well, there's nothing that I can do. And that's what you have to do in situations like this. Just be like, oh, it has nothing to do with me. Just move forward. What needs to happen is I have to go like all the way around these people, even though we can't because it's a 4-way intersection thing. So there's no way to get around these people. So that's gonna be weird. Okay. Looks like everybody's pushing through. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make these a little bit more focused. At least to the point where it doesn't sound like the same thing every single day, even though my days are all the same until the weekend. I mean, even the weekend's pretty much the same, but trying to focus on like a specific topic of that day or something. Maybe I'll write it down the night before, and if I end up uploading these, then like I'll probably upload them in the evening and then write down a note for the next day and kind of adhere to the note, but I can still go on tangents because that's just how I talk. But then it'll be kind of a little bit more strategic. Yeah, so we'll see. Sometime. I was supposed to do it last night, but this happens all the time where I just postpone things that I need to do. I have these tubs from when I moved. It just has like kitchen equipment and I think some bathroom equipment and then electronic stuff in these 2 tubs, and I just need to I don't need to go through it to get rid of anything. I just need to really go through it to get what I need out of it and then stack up those tubs instead of just keeping them in my laundry room. Because they're just taking up a lot of space and I want to use that, the little bit of space that I have in there to, I think that's where I want to put the punching bag thing, structure. So, I meant to do that last night. Probably won't do it tonight either, to be honest, because I'd like to start utilizing that time more to read or exercise, but I also need to set up the equipment to be able to exercise, so I should probably just do that. At the very least, it's going to end up happening on the weekend, since I've been starting to clean like Saturday morning, and then I'll do something throughout the day. Typically what I do on my list, my daily list, is I'll have a thing that I need to do each day. So if it's the tubs, for example, I'll make sure I have to get that done today. Like today, the thing was going to the psychiatrist. That's technically just in the morning. So I could do another thing, but I don't like to look at that list and see that there's multiple things, because then it becomes somewhat overwhelming for some reason, because really all I would need to do is do that today. There's other things. I gotta eat, I gotta pick up a couple things and whatever, but they get rolled over, so that it ends up stacking up onto the next things. Because right now, since I've been getting so many things, since I got so many things done at the beginning of the year, the first couple months, throughout the middle months, I've been getting still one thing done at a time, but no like big things that I wanted to really. Things just keep stacking up, and that's how it rolls over, and I get so many different things that I want to do that add up to years and years. That's why I need to catch up to it, because when I don't know why I keep saying need to. That's why I am catching up to it, because when I finally do catch up to it, for one, it's going to feel amazing, because whenever I get one of the big things done, it feels great. Even a smaller like thing that I want to do, cleaning something or whatever, still is nice. But when I get something done that's been on there for like years, it does feel great. So really all over the place. But the point is, once I catch up to my list, and there's just regular everyday person things to do. I got to keep up with go to the doctor, or I have to make sure that I clean my vacuum or something. It doesn't become like an insurmountable task where it's like I gotta make sure I set up these 5 appointments, vacuum today, make sure I go buy this food, exercise, see this person, talk to that person, get this other task done, and then do something else. It's like crazy. But if it's just one thing at a time, it's really not as bad. But when there's the things that you've been putting off, it's still very difficult to do that one thing. So, especially if it's something that's tedious or something that doesn't go the right way, it's like, you don't want to actually do it. I just had to force myself to do it. And it typically ends up being fine. Yeah, there's a lot of times issues happen where it's like it doesn't go the way that I think that it's going to go, or something comes up and makes something take like a lot longer. Well, at least the way that you can look at it is now I know that it's going to take longer. I know that next time it's going to be like this or like that. Then you can be prepared for the next time. But yeah, I don't really know. I have an idea for what I want to do for these. I want to add small scenes of things that I do. I just don't know when I would record that. I would just have to remember, if I'm making food, or I'll show an exercise that I like or something like that. But it's like, I thought that I wanted these to be 40 minutes, but I'm thinking maybe it makes more sense to make them around 20. Because I'm really just talking all over the place, but I think if I was talking about one thing, then 20 minutes would probably be pretty good. I'm really not sure yet. That's why this is just a test. But it really doesn't help that the traffic is insane, and I have to end this video in a second here because I have to figure out what's going on. I'm definitely going to be late at this point with just ridiculous construction and traffic going on. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. This is probably the best time I feel pretty clear while I'm driving. I do like to listen to music or listen to a video or sometimes just think to myself. But if those are the three things that I like to do, then I can do one of the three, which is thinking, and I can just talk out loud instead. It's not really the same, but I think I'm going to try to make it the same. Because thinking really doesn't do anything for me, but I can look back on these videos and things. So at least 1/3 of it I can do. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think around this time I'll start rambling, see how it goes. Yeah. Alright, let's try to do the second video. I'm going to try to do this each day. Feeling okay today, didn't get very good sleep, but when you have insomnia, pretty much what happens all the time, if not just regularly. Driving again, I think that I'm going to do it while I'm driving most days, maybe not on the weekend, we'll see. I don't know when I'm going to start uploading these, because I probably have to put like a thumbnail or something, but I'll get around to it. I also have like another way to set up the video instead of just holding it in my hand, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet, but we're supposed to start getting back into exercising again last night, Halloween, but I didn't start it, so I have to move some stuff around in the laundry room and set up the exercise equipment. But I have started to eat the correct way, so I'm going to be in a high surplus, and hopefully just starting to eat that way before exercising will kind of like get me used to feeling really full all the time again. Because once I start exercising, I'll use a lot of that energy. But for now, it's just like kind of being stored. So that'll be good. Played a little bit of Warframe, because I just keep up with that game. I don't really sink a lot of time into it, but 30 minutes every day for like a year is a lot of time. Or I haven't played it in a while, but I just started like catching up to a couple things in it. Much more into Souls games. I already got through the Elden Ring DLC pretty fast. Might finish it up again with a buddy. Trying Code Vein for the first time. It's decent. It scratches the itch of a Souls-like game, but it's definitely, the combat isn't like the same, but it doesn't feel as good, but it still works. Still enjoying it. Have yet to write down the ideas that I'm going to talk about each day. I think I said before that I'm just going to write down an idea for the next day, the night before, to kind of focus on, because I'm just just not, like, I can talk for a long time if I'm talking to someone, but just talking to myself is not very natural. So I'm just kind of actively trying to think of different things to talk about. Taking a lot of pauses instead of rambling like I usually do. The plan, at least right now, I've been slowly like integrating slowly integrating small details into the day, since it's extremely difficult for me to really do anything. There's things that I want to do though, so when I integrate it, it just has to be very gradual, so I don't feel like I have way too much to do. And if I don't do something, then it feels really bad because it's like something that I wanted to do and I didn't get to do it. Because I was exercising 6 days a week for like the longest time, and I would go in the middle of the night when nobody was at my gym where I lived before. Now that I don't live over there and I'm going to be doing exercising at home, it's difficult to know when I should exercise, especially when I have to wake up the time that I do for work. So it's like, I think I talked about it before, that's why I have to have a focus for each day that I'm going to talk about, so I don't keep repeating myself, because I'm sure I'm about to repeat myself right now. I'm going to do some cardio stuff in the morning. So I'm going to essentially wake up, maybe wash my face or something to kind of wake up a little bit more. Grab some water or Powerade or something. And just do cardio, probably the bag lifting, like I probably said before, but I can't remember. And some punching bag stuff, like some boxing stuff, and then just as much movement and heart rate that I can do for like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe longer depending on what I want to do. Like maybe I'll do some isolation work as well, depending on how tired I am. And then like maybe something that can be isolated multiple times in a day, like calves or arms or something like that, where it's not like a huge deal if you work it multiple times, as long as you feel rested the next time. Do that in the morning, then eat. And lately I've just been having ramen in the morning because of the salt in it. I don't get like a ton of salt because I don't want like a ton of salt in my diet. So obviously ramen has a lot of salt, so that's like my main amount for the day. And I'll add like some salt and stuff to it, even though it's already really salty. Have that, take the vitamins I take, and creatine, and a tall cup of milk. I think it's 2 cups. It might be even 3 cups, I'm not sure. And then feed the cats. Probably take a shower because the heart rate thing will probably make me really sweaty before work. Get ready, go to work, drive, do this video stuff as much as I can. Hopefully I just do it every single day. That's my plan. Then, even though it's like I'm going to be repeating myself, but eventually I'll get on track and it will start making more sense. Because I'd like to track like what's going on in my life as I'm improving it, since I've been doing that for a long time now. But I just haven't been recording it, so I'm like, there's no better time to start than just as soon as you realize that you haven't been doing it. So do that while I'm driving. Do some multitasking at work. That's where I can listen to most of the YouTube videos that I want to be caught up on, or music or whatever, instead of in the car. Then on the way home, I can either listen to more music or videos, or I can talk with someone on the phone, be a little like social that way. Get home, do the litter, feed the cats their dry food for the night while I'm getting something else ready to eat. Then I think that what I'm going to start doing is exercise for an hour after work. This is the weightlifting part. Even though I'm going to be tired, but it's not real tiredness, just fatigue from working. So I can do it, I just have to make myself do it once I get it all set up. Do that, probably take a shower again, we'll see. Because for the longest time I wasn't taking showers at night. When I was exercising at night, I would just take them in the morning, and it worked out just fine as long as you're like cleaning your sheets regularly and stuff. So it wasn't really that gross. It cooled down pretty fast. And like I said, either take a shower or whatever. Then do the relaxing stuff at night. Talk with friends, read a book, watch a movie or shows. Try to wind down the best that I can without overthinking things that I feel like I need to do. Eat more. Really, it's like another tall cup of milk, some oatmeal or something, maybe with like a tiny bit of, maybe like a super tiny bit of coffee in it, so I don't feel like I'm crashing. And then, even though I never have caffeine, but it's just like a placebo. Then wait an hour and a half, have another tall cup of milk. Oh wait, no, I messed that up. Right after exercising, I need to have the protein drink, protein powder stuff, and I mix that with tea, because I don't take it with milk. I take it with water, because it mixes really, really well by itself, the type that I did with water. But I mix it with tea because tea supposedly has good properties for your body, like green tea and stuff like that. And it tastes good combined with protein powder. So have a protein drink and a bowl of cereal to get like the sugars moving in my body. That's really like my only source of added sugars in the day will be the cereal. And supposedly like Cheerios and stuff has vitamins in it. I don't know how like accurate or how good the vitamins are. Like I don't really know how that works, but they're in there. I already take the vitamins in the morning, so having a few more at the end of the night is not bad. And I need to start buying the spinach and bell peppers again to have like a lot more vegetables. And I can add more like onion or whatever later, but I can pretty much just eat the spinach and bell pepper just by themselves. And it's good for to get a little bit of extra iron in my body. That's not taking iron with a supplement in the morning, because iron interacts with other supplements poorly, like other vitamins, depending on what it is. But just getting a little bit from like spinach at the end of the night, some vitamin C from the bell pepper, and just having that extra fiber for my body for the next day to go to the bathroom will be good, and hopefully my stomach won't feel terrible since I have stomach issues. But so I'll be eating the vegetables, the cereal, and the protein drink. That's like my biggest meal, but it's right after the exercise, so it's not a big deal. And I'll feel very full for like 30 minutes, but it will go away. And after like 2 hours, after I take a shower and do like relax, calm down, then I'll have another tall cup of milk. And then at the end of the night, I'll do one more tall cup with the oatmeal that I was talking about before. So that the oats are in my system for the night to hopefully like slowly absorb into my body, so I have some energy for the morning without having to eat before I do the cardio stuff in the morning, because I don't like to eat before I exercise, but I know you should have some food so you have your best workout. So like I feel like if I eat before I go to bed and slowly gets in my body, and I forget what the protein is called, the casein in the milk like slowly absorbs, that protein slowly absorbs into my body, so I'll be good for the next day. And after that workout, the next day I have the ramen with the electrolyte, quote unquote, really just salt, the ton of salt that's in the ramen, and then just continue the cycle. And I think that I'll just have the Powerade or whatever with my weightlifting thing at night, since I already have enough salt in the morning from the ramen. And then I'll just go from there. It'd be really nice to record videos every day, read every day, and exercise every day, spend time with the cats every day. Those are like, of course there's other things you need to do, brush your teeth, eat, shower, whatever, but like those are the things that I enjoy and I want to do to better my life. The cats calm me down. They're super, I mean, I'm always calm, but they like bring me more into the moment, in the present moment, and pet them and just make sure they're really happy, and I'm super close with them, and they always just want to lay with me, stuff like that. Utilize that energy, like a good feeling, to be able to read and get into other good habits that I was in before. And hopefully I'll just be putting on a bunch of weight all the way until 2026. That's the plan. See, I rambled just fine that time. I'm sure it was a lot like very similar to the previous one with what I was saying, but it was slightly different, I guess. If I'm a little bit more focused on, with my lack of focus and energy, it's hard to focus on anything. But if I have like an idea that I remind myself of before I start driving, then I think it'll be a little bit better to stay on track with everything. And yeah, I have to decide if I want these videos to be 20 minutes or 40 minutes. I guess I could do 30 minutes. I like the idea of longer length videos for people to just throw on while they're doing something else, like playing a game or doing the dishes or something like that. Or for myself to do that, like listen back to it while I'm doing something else. So 40 minutes seems a little bit more appealing to me. But I would definitely have to throw in some scenes of like me eating or preparing something, or cat scenes, or like things like that. And maybe if I think of things during those times, I can talk as well. We'll see. It doesn't have to be perfect when I first start out. I just have to remind myself of that, because I always just overthink it and think that I have to do everything, not perfectly, but do everything the way that I wanted to originally from the very beginning. And it's just not really like that when I'm not used to talking, when I'm not used to doing videos, when don't have like a schedule for it, or if I'm gonna edit it or throw it together or put something at the beginning or the end. So I don't really know exactly how that's gonna go yet, but I'll get it under control. And then I'll go from there. So, yep. Don't really know if I like these videos where my camera is like underneath my face, but I have another idea of what I can test out and see if I like it better. So I'm going to try to make another video tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Alright, let's try to record this again. My car's making a lot of weird noises, so there's probably going to be a lot of rustling. I'm not sure if it's been doing that, if you've been able to hear that the entire time, but I can right now. There's nothing wrong with it when it comes to that, like, rattling noise, just something in the back of the car moving around. I think it's part of the jack for the wheel, but my brakes also sound very not right today. They just sound like they're kind of like grinding, not grinding, but there's pressure put on them or something. Even though I had my brake pads replaced only a few months ago, so I don't really know what that's about. Maybe it's the cold weather, maybe it's, I don't really know. But if it keeps up, then I'm probably gonna have to get it looked at. Trimmed my mustache a little bit because I was starting to bite it when I would eat. Got a decent amount of things done yesterday and the day before. I have a plan of how I'm going to do this recording stuff. I'm just practicing right now. Like, these first few are just like practice sessions, getting used to talking. I still haven't written down an idea, even though I said I was going to. This is what happens when you have procrastination based on like energy deficiency, no focus, depression stuff. Like, you want to do things, not in every case, not everybody that has it, but in my case, I really want to do things, but I just can't get myself to do it, or I do something else instead. Like this weekend, I got things done that I wanted to do. So that's cool, but it wasn't part of what I talked about on here. Like, I think on here I talked about getting these tubs done in the laundry room so that I can put my exercise equipment back there, build that. And I did not get those things done. Some other stuff happened that day, but the cool thing is I had like a lot of painting and stuff that I wanted to do, not around the house, but for my vehicle and for the exercise equipment. So the exercise equipment that I got was supposed to be yellow, but for some reason they gave me red. It doesn't really matter, but when I was expecting yellow, like light yellow is my favorite, it kind of just was like, why? Because so many things do that, where it just doesn't go the way that it should. Like if I order a thing and I order it this bright color, then it should be the color that I ordered it. Or if I'm gonna make something, it should just turn out this way or whatever. It just stinks when things just like don't go that way. But you just have to roll with it. Like for example, I had to pick up, I probably said this already, I don't know, but I had to pick up medication before, and they just didn't have the shipment just because I was going there. That's what it feels like, at least. My curse. The things that should just be happening just don't happen that way. But I just try to spin it in a positive way where it's like, okay, roll with it, be annoyed by it for like a second, feel the emotions, and then just let it roll off the shoulder and move on, because this shit happens all the time. I should have been recording these for like years, because something ridiculous happens almost every single day. It doesn't have to be like a grandiose, like a huge thing that happens all the time, but it's things that you wouldn't expect that happen. And like I gotta, like for another example, as I paid for something that was really expensive that I needed to for bills, and I'm like, finally I can do this, and then I get pulled over like the next day, or the same day I should say, get pulled over for going like 5 miles under or 5 miles over the speed limit, something very minuscule, and then it's just like, okay, now I gotta pay for something else. Was pretty shaky this morning, still a little bit. I don't know if that's from what I'm taking, or if it's from, see, my car just made a weird noise when I got off the brakes. So you have to pay attention to how your vehicle sounds. Like, there's something not right there, but we'll see if it's just from it being rainy and cold, or if it's from something else. But I'm just paying attention to it for right now. Accelerating's fine. It's just like getting off the brakes sounds weird. The brakes still function just fine, it feels like. You get to like pay attention to how your car feels and sounds if you want it to last a long time and take care of it when you need to. Anyway, what was I saying? I can't remember. But yeah, I got some things done this week, and I wanted to get the painting done just out of nowhere. When I have these moments where I don't feel an extreme lack of energy, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I have to take advantage of it, because, and it's usually associated with getting something done that I don't need to get done, but it's something that, like, I wasn't planning on getting it done, but it was still something that I needed to get done eventually. So like the painting, I wanted to do some stuff with my car. It was just because some trim was coming off, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna paint it where the trim was with some spray paint to look as though the trim is still there without buying new trim. It's significantly cheaper, and I did that, but I should have just used paint that you lather on yourself, because the spray paint did not get on my clothes, did not get like on anything important, but except it got on a lot of it got on the car where it wasn't supposed to go, and I didn't realize that until after the fact. So that's really messed up, but it doesn't matter. I don't really care what my stuff looks like. I have a car that works. I'm the one that wanted to do the project. The project didn't work out the way that I wanted it to, but I mean, it still did, because the trim itself looks really good. There's just extra spray in, like, around it past where I tapered it off, so that I supposedly couldn't get paint on it. But the extra spray I thought was just dirt on my car, and I probably would have noticed it if I would have gotten a car wash like before I started doing this, but it's not a big deal. My car looks silly on the sides, but it literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or anything like that. My vehicle is just fine. But I did also spray the rims, and those turned out super nice. We'll see if it holds up through weather and whatever, but the rims look really good. And you can't just be upset. You can't be upset to, like, I can't do anything to fix the car. I could paint it again, but it's just a waste of money. It was a project that I tried. It didn't go the right way. That's fine. You just live and learn. And now next time, if I ever want to paint a vehicle again, I just know to use a paintbrush, or I have to cover my whole car in plastic or something. You just learn from it. It's not a big deal. Let's see. I also painted the equipment, because that's what I was talking about before, the workout equipment that came in that was red a while ago. I would have been able to return it, but I didn't put it together fast enough. This is why getting things done, not pushing it back, is so important, because if I would have opened the box earlier, I would have known that it was the wrong one, and I could have returned it. They could have sent me the right color. So I had the light yellow spray paint, and I sprayed all the equipment, put it on like a plastic sheet that I had from painting the house, and it was looking really good. And then of course the spray cans. This is another thing that I'm talking about with things just not going the right way. I read the directions, followed it with everything, and one of the spray cans just stopped working correctly. I changed the nozzle, I removed any debris that was near the entry, and I switched the nozzle with like the other can even, and it just wouldn't work. And I know there was still paint in it, because I had two cans, and the one that was empty was significantly lighter than the one that wasn't working, so I know the one that wasn't working still had a lot of paint in it, but I could not get it to work. But luckily I painted pretty much all the equipment. It does not look good. I did all the intervals just like the paint said, the can said, and like the amount of time to dry and layers and everything, and it still turned out bad. Like maybe I was too close to it. Some of the equipment has like blotchiness that you can see the other colors through. Well, once again, it doesn't matter. This was my project. I'm the one that decided it'd be a better idea to spray it rather than just use the reddish color equipment. The equipment still works just fine. It doesn't matter what it looks like. If the equipment was damaged, that's a different scenario. When the equipment is just, it just looks shitty, who cares? I'm the one that's going to be using it. It still is yellow. Yeah, it's blotchy and it doesn't look right, but in my head, the way that I make it work for myself is It's the color that I want it to be now, even if it's not perfectly painted in the lines as well as I want it to be. It's the color that I want it to be. You glance at it, it's the color that I want it to be. And it still works for what it is. Still have a bench, still have pull-up stuff. Like, it's gonna do what I need it to do. And if it doesn't, if there's something wrong with it, if it's busted or if it can't support enough weight or whatever, then it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me painting it. It's just the equipment. So there's nothing to be upset about. Oh, it doesn't look good. Who gives a shit? Who cares what your stuff looks like? You know what I mean? As long as you're fine, it's all that matters. The only thing that you have in the world is yourself. So like, you like how you look, you like how you feel. Your things don't matter because like, okay, let's say you're doing that for a friend and you wanted to paint it for them, and you said that it's going to look really good, and it turns out like that really shitty. Oh, you might feel bad, but the friend, if they're a good friend, they'll probably just be like, oh, it's not really a big deal, like, you're not a professional or whatever. If they're not a great friend, they'll be upset because you like ruined their stuff that you're painting, even though you didn't ruin it. Like, you tried to do what you said you were going to do. It's not ruined, it's not broken or anything, it just doesn't look perfect. But once again, it doesn't have to. It's not like, it's not important. You're the one that's going to be using it at your house. If it was like a job or something, that's different for the client or something like that. But in this case, I'm the only one that's going to use it. Nobody cares about your stuff. You show someone something new that you get, they're like, oh, cool. But they're not like extremely impressed. It's not like that you're giving it to them. Or you get like a new computer or something, I don't know. Build a computer. You show your friend, like, they're like, oh, that's really cool. But they don't really care that much because it's not theirs. They get over it, move on with their lives when you're done spending time with them. So like, it's the same thing with the equipment. I show somebody, they're like, oh yeah, it looks pretty bad. But at the end of the day, they don't care because they're just going home, they're doing their own thing. None of that stuff matters. It just matters if it bothers you. And why would it bother you? It doesn't matter what it looks like. So, and I'm not trying to convince myself, I'm just talking because people if I'm going to be posting this and people are watching it, people don't really know me at all. I'm just really not bothered by a lot of stuff. I'm always calm. Silly things happen like that all the time. It doesn't go the right way that you think it's going to go. And then you just learn from it. I never spray painted anything before, but I figured, oh, I'll be fine. Like, I've seen videos of it. I know the idea of it. You know, you got to keep it like at a certain distance, everything like that. I don't know why I'm talking about painting for so long, but yeah, so that's something that I got mostly done and felt good about it, even if it didn't turn out the right way, because I did the task that I wanted to do. It took a long time. I had the energy to do it, and I did it. So I feel good about that. I shouldn't feel bad because it turned out like shit. I feel good because I did the task that I wanted to do. Next task will be, once again, doing the tubs, get them out of the way, putting the exercise equipment up so I can start doing them, because I've been starting to eat like a lot more, so I need to start using that extra energy. We'll see what's going on with the shakiness, whether that was like my blood sugar or medication or whatever it was. Pay attention to that. Hopefully it just goes away and it's like a slow not slow, but just short duration that happened. And watched Terrifier 1 and 2. Number 3 wasn't available yet, but I'm going to figure out how to watch that. I significantly liked number 1 better than 2. Maybe I'll start talking about shows and movies and things and books that I like as well. But number 1 was just so simple, and it really cool idea, really messed up. Number 2 was more story based, and it made it more like supernatural, which I don't know how I feel about it, but the thing that I do know how I feel is that I think the first one was better, but still interesting. Had a fire last night, made a s'more, carved a pumpkin. Gonna make some pumpkin seeds later, today or tomorrow. Good stuff going, just have to do a little bit at a time. That's pretty much it, honestly.